Hello, my nerdlings. If you're new here, my name is Nikki. Welcome to my channel where we get nerdy. Today I'm going to give you some of my romance book recommendations. I'm going to talk about full series, some standalones, a manga, that kind of thing. I think that's it. And I'm going to give you ratings of spice level. So a 1 through 5. 1 being not very spicy, 5 being on the page, graphic sex, that kind of thing. So, and I will try to remember the tropes of each of these. I don't know where I want to start. I'll start with the manga, because that's the shortest list. Well, technically the shortest list is the standalone. But the manga I have is Sweat and Soap. This is about a young woman that works at a beauty company, pharmaceutical company, whatever you want to call it. And she has this self-consciousness about her body odor. And the lead developer for their perfumes, their deodorants, and all of that stuff actually really likes the smell of her pheromones. And so he uses it as his inspiration. This is not overly spicy, like it's not like littered all through there, but there are graphic images of intercourse. Not super graphic, but like you definitely see her topless with just a bra on. So I would probably give this a 3 chili pepper rating. Next is one that's on this month's TBR, and that is Text Appeal. I'm not very far into this, but I already know it's a 4 chili pepper star rating. This is about a young woman that gets fired from her programming job at a firm after some stupid mistake. That's not even really her fault. And she takes up being kind of like an only thing, like a OF type account, where she texts people adult messages but never sends any pictures. That's her, where she draws her line. And they pay her to do so. And then she is falling for her best friend at the same time. So there's that. Let's go with this one. Next, I have the Spoiler Alert trilogy by Olivia Dade. These are all following like the same group of friends with different females. And the thing with Olivia Dade is all of her books have plus size rep. Whether it's the male and the female or just the female, they are all plus size. This is book 1, book 2, and book 3. This one is about a woman that cosplays as this actress, that this character that is in the show on the thinner side and gets a lot of hate for it on Twitter. But the male lead of the show says, no, I'm going to take her on a date because it's an amazing cosplay. And they end up falling for each other, kind of thing. This one, I would say, is I don't want to say grumpy sunshine, but he's definitely an asshole. And she tries to be optimistic. So I'd say more of it's an enemies to lovers thing, because neither of them really want to be there, but they're there and they develop feelings. And this one is probably best described as a second chance romance. They had a hookup, a one night stand, and then end up being casted opposite of each other on a remote island in the middle of nowhere. So there's that one. I love that series. It's super cute. Let's go with probably going to be tired of me talking about these books by the end of the month. The Kings of Sin by Anna Huang. You have King of Wrath, King of Pride, and King of Greed. King of Wrath is the first one in the series. This is a arranged marriage romance. Oh, I forgot to talk about the spice of these. Spice in these, I would probably say 4 chili pepper. King of Wrath, arranged romance. Yeah, definitely enemies to lovers. They're not a big fan of each other at all. It's an arranged romance. It always has that type of tension. But it's really interesting how the dynamic between them develop. And I really like it. Probably closer to a 4.5 on the spicy scale. The next in that series, King of Pride. This is a forbidden love. He's a CEO to $1 billion company. Well, like the heir to a CEO position for $1 billion company. She is a bartender. So of course it's not what the parents would pick for him. And spice is 4.5. Yep. And this one is a second chance romance. This is a husband and wife the wife has asked for a divorce because the husband is married to his work and he's not ready to give her up. So he tries to win her back. The spice in this, I would put it more at a 4. Like there's still spice, but I don't find it to be as often or as graphic as the other two. I only have one book of this series because I have people borrowing the other books, and that is the Bromance Book Club. Each one of these books has a different trope. The first one, the Bromance Book Club, is a second chance romance. Yet again, a divorced man a man trying to salvage his marriage. The second one is I wouldn't say enemies to lovers, but they're definitely not friends. The third book is this guy is trying to, I don't know which one's the third, if it's this one or if it's that one, but one's a friends to lovers and one is they got married out of convenience and he's trying to show her that there could actually be love there. The whole basis of these 4 books. Oh, and there's A Very Merry Bromance. I don't own it. It's a Christmas one. The whole basis of these books is that these men that are in like the NFL, the NHL, the AHL, the MLB, the NBA, that kind of thing, these very manly men admit that they have problems in their love lives. And so they start reading Harlequin romance novels in order to improve their love lives. The spice in those, I would probably, there's spice. There's not a crap ton of spice. I would probably put it 3.5. Now these books have a whole lot of spice. And that is the Breathless trilogy by Maya Banks. You have Rush, which is a forbidden love of the brother's best friend. And it's a whole lot of spice. I'd put this at a 5. It's definitely a 5. Fever is the second book. This is, I kind of want to call it a white knight romance. Like he's trying to save her kind of thing. And yeah, it's a 5 of spice. And Burn is, I don't know how to describe it. He fell first, that's for sure. He's a CEO. She's an artist. He likes her work. She doesn't give him the time of day. Eventually she does because he's relentless and that kind of thing. Now, lastly, the one that the author I have the most of her books in front of me is apparently the queen of my year so far, because I have read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of her books already this year, and that is Rebecca Yarros. So Fourth Wing, if you haven't heard of it, I don't know how you haven't heard of it. If you're in the booktube community or any bookish community, Book Talk, BookTube, or just go into a bookstore. Fourth Wing is about a group of dragon riders, and there's this forbidden romance that buds to the side. It's not as prevalent in this book, but you can definitely see where she's planting those seeds for this romance to go. There's a little bit of a triangle, enemies to lovers, forbidden romance, and it's good. The spice in this, there's not many scenes, but the spice is quality spice, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to put this one we'll put this at a 4.25. And then next we have her, I think it's Flight and Glory series. Book 1 is Full Measures. This is, how would you put this? Friends to lovers, I guess. But I think is how you would put it. And a reverse Grumpy Sunshine. Like he's the sunshine, she's the grumpy, but she rightfully so has the right to be grumpy. If you know, you know. So spice in this, probably a 4. Eyes Turned Skyward is the second book. This is following a friend of the one in this book. This is a forbidden love. He fell first. Friends to lovers. And like she friend zones him hard for a good bit of the book. So it's a true friends to lovers. Like he is working at it and it's getting built slowly and slowly. And it's enjoyable. Beyond What Is Given. I haven't read this one yet, but judging by the 2 of them that I have read and knowing what characters are in this, I know I'm going to love it. Judging from the back, it's going to be, I'll read you this last sentence. Falling in love is something neither Grayson nor Sam can afford. And when the line is crossed and secrets are exposed, they'll learn that sometimes it is answered prayers that will pull you through hell. So, I don't know how to classify it. I'll give you more of an update on how I classify it in my wrap-up, because this is the next book on my list to read. And then lastly, we have Hallowed Ground by Rebecca Yarros. This is following the same couple from this, but the man's perspective, judging by the background, but it's after the events of these other 3 books. So it's continuing their story. Book 4, Book 5, The Reality of Everything. I don't know who's it about, I'm not even sure if it's released yet. That's the other problem. Maybe the end of this, it will say something. Epilogue, acknowledgements. No. So I don't know. But those are my romance book recommendations. Comment down below some of your romance recommendations, or which ones you think you're going to pick up now that you've listened to my spiel. I'm trying to not be spoilery with these, and I'm really bad at it. I need to practice. Like the video if you did, and hit the subscribe button if you want to see more. Until next time, you are loved and you are valid.